Welcome back to the Get a Grip on Lighting podcast. Today we have our friend out on the West Coast, Brian Amundson from Pacific Lamp, is going to join us in just about a second. But the first thing we got to do is we got to go down to KeystoneTech.com, Greg Eric. That's KeystoneTech.com.
You know, there's a lot of high bay options in the market, but Keystone's doing something a little different with their little lens optic swap on there. You can actually light up aisles now, not just put a blob everywhere. Sometimes an aisle needs to be lit differently than a open area. By sometimes, I mean all the time. Do it right.
And that's what nail distributors do. Nail distributors kick it up a notch. They give the person the advice. You sell him what he wants at the end of the day. You want to buy it, you buy it. But you give a little bit of advice along the way. It helps out, Greg.
That's right. All day.
That's why you got to be a member of the National Association of Innovative Lighting Distributors so you can speak with confidence. Got light bulbs in a warehouse, you sell them to people, got to join NAILD, NAILD.org. So, Brian, welcome back for the show again.
Hi, guys. Thank you.
We got Brian out in Oregon. He's going to comment on this video. Greg, have you watched the video already? I know Brian did.
I took a snapshot of it. Yep, I watched it.
Okay, so the producer's going to play it here. For those watching it, it's I got an email from a client. This is a major piece of Ontario infrastructure, this parking lot. So this was a specified job. So the equipment is not put in there by Johnny Come Lately and the Lighting Marauders. This is an engineered job. And if people out there recognize it, I know people in Ontario listen, so I'm not going to say where it is, but this is a place. Go ahead and cue it up, Scott, and play it. And so what we can see here is, I know it's not the best video, but what you can see is that half of the LED array, not the whole fixture, half of the LED array on these fixtures is blinking on and off probably 4 or 5 times a second. The customer emailed me and said, these are already dark sky friendly. That was the first line in his email. We have these dark sky fixtures. So I know that these fixtures are less than 3 years old because really we didn't see 3,000 K in construction. They're on 30-foot poles and half of the array is blinking off and on. And this guy wants to fix this. Brian, over to you. What do you do?
Half the array is blinking. It sounds like we've got a driver problem.
Yeah.
What I would initially assume.
Is there any way of, is it even worth trying to fix the fixture, Brian?
I mean, I would definitely report it as a warranty. And as long as they're dealing with a reputable manufacturer, they should have no problem sending you out a new fixture. And if it's done, 3 years, that's kind of pushing it. But, if it's done within the first year, we can typically get some labor allowance, potentially some concessions on a lift, something of that nature. But, yeah, I mean, it's pointing towards a driver or part of the array's dead. Who knows? But if that was my customer, I'd advocate for a new fixture to come. Then we just swap it out.
What about you, Greg?
So it's half of every fixture or half of how many, roughly? Half of half?
No, probably about half of 20%. So you're looking at about 50 fixtures in the parking lot there.
Half of 20%.
Yeah, the 50K ones are still going strong from about 6 years ago, but these are newer ones. The parking lot was expanded to accommodate public infrastructure and parking at a place where you park and you get on public transit. And, the area that's the newest with the dark sky friendly fixtures is having the problem.
First find out the manufacturer, as Brian mentioned, find that out first before you just blindly say, hey, go new fixture. But I'm 90% going to go new fixture on that. I don't see it being worth taking half of an array and hoping it's just a driver. Does it have 2 drivers? There's a lot of question marks to it. And what is the driver? I would say new fixture is likely the way to go.
Brian?
And most manufacturers are going to have no problem supporting that warranty, as long as they're somebody that we deal with regularly. So that's what I do. Warranty.
But I didn't sell them the fixtures. I've been called to fix the problem after construction. Do I bring up the warranty issue? Or do I just go ahead and get a deal? Brian.
Well, I mean, if it's a customer you're working on and they outsource those to someone else, I would probably, try to help them, just depending on, how long they've been a customer, what kind of relationship you have. I'd ask, who'd you buy them from, figure out the brand, and I'd try to be an advocate for them. Um, if it's they bought them through some sort of contract or something like that, and they're going to have problems being supported. I'd try to definitely help them and see if I can, get more business, and why didn't they purchase from me, on this go around? And I'd ask all those questions. But I'm always willing to help my customers, whether they bought it from me or not. Tends to kind of make them think next time they're going to do a project to call me and always keep me top of mind. So.
Yeah, Mike, you said at the beginning. You said at the beginning that the 50K are still working. Does that mean you sold them the 50K?
No, this would have been a specified project that went through agency and all that sort of stuff,
So the whole thing.
right? And
Beginning
the
of the 1
person,
6 years.
yeah. So the person that purchased the fixtures and supervised the construction is nowhere near this, and this is a maintenance guy who has no idea. He just has blinking lights in his parking lot.
Yeah, I mean, and to Brian's point, I get that to some degree, but I think I just sell them a deal, like go new fixtures, get them something you can handle, because if you're getting involved in the warranty process, who knows what could happen. They might charge you for the replacement product, and then you're on the hook for that. Go new fixture.
No, I mean, I wasn't involved in the deal. I've just been called in
I
to
know.
fix the problem, right?
Right. So fix the problem.
Exactly.
Don't make it more of a. You'd make it more of a problem to say, go back, if unless he has all this, go back and find the invoice, figure out who that is. All that time and effort. You might just say, you could do that, or here's what it costs for me to fix it now. Get it done next week. What do you want, customer?
Would you do all of them, Brian, or would you there's about maybe 40% of the lot that's these newer dark sky approved fixtures that they expanded the lot, and now they're having problems with that area, not the old area. Would you just take out all the fixtures, or would you just do one by one?
Well, I mean, they've only been up for 3 years. So if 20% of those are failing, that's pretty high failure rate. So I would definitely identify the manufacturer, deem them, is that something that I deem as quality? And then, give the customer all the information and let him make an educated decision. I wouldn't spend a lot of time on it. I would just gather information as fast as possible, deliver the options, and then let the customer make an educated decision. At least he knows that I'm here to support him. If things go wrong, that we're always your local source to call on. So that's what I would do. And just deliver him what he needs to hear and let him make the decision on what he wants to do. I wouldn't push it either way, personally. Now, if those are out of warranty, I would definitely look at selling them all in fixtures, because, if you had that much problems on 20%, give them another couple of years, you're probably going to have more problems. It's probably best to just reset the clock, give them a fresh fixture with fresh warranty, and let everybody be happy, because nobody wants to chase maintenance problems.
No. And I'm dealing. Yeah, and I'm dealing with a customer right now, similar to this, other than the fixtures out, and they gave me the part number and all this, and I looked into it, and it's one of these majors that have been sold, I don't know, 3 times in the last 3 years, and merged and sold and whatever. I don't even know who they belong to anymore. But they used to be a major brand, and trying to get their driver figured out. The customer asked me, it's October right now. They asked me in July to help figure this out, and here we are 2.5 months later, and or whatever it is, more than that, 3 months almost, that we don't even know what driver they have in the fixtures. So we have to go up with a bucket truck to open the fixture, to figure out the driver, to figure out which one they need. That's fun.
I call that, I love that. That's called the discovery fee.
Right. Well, there you go. You sell this guy a discovery fee then, Mike. What are you saying? You already know your answer. Go do a discovery fee.
Yeah, if you want to get some discoveries done, you go down to KeystoneTech.com, because they got a lot to discover there, Greg Eric. Go to KeystoneTech.com.
Hey, you know who makes their own drivers?
Who?
That might be able to eliminate this issue. There's no question, Mark. when you have a Keystone fixture whose driver's in there.
Yeah,
It's flipping Keystone's driver.
Yeah, you could, that way you wouldn't have a problem like this. But folks, check them out, KeystoneTech.com. Of course, if you made it to the end here and you have light bulbs in a warehouse, what are you doing? This is your association. Get in here. Let's have these kinds of conversations. You know you want to be part of it. NAILD.org. Brian Amundson, thanks for being part of the show.